Good morning, everybody. It's 9:20. Yes, 9:20, and we're kind of just waking up. That's the weather outside, and it's kind of been doing that for the last, I don't know, 3 hours, and I believe it's going to be doing that for about the next 20 hours until maybe about, I don't know, early 6-7 o'clock tomorrow morning, when it is supposed to clear up. So given that many of you will have followed other videos, but you know, there might be one person who stumbles across this video and thinks, what the heck's going on here? So as an introduction, halfway through a series of videos, we'll probably never do this again because we'll probably forget, you know, that someone might actually come along in the middle of a series like part 4 or something, whatever, however many parts this series is. It is Thursday, and the plan today was to walk 10 or 15 kilometers, but plans change. So in a nutshell, the plan, other than, you know, maybe walking 10 or 15 kilometers today, was between Monday and Friday, obviously 5 days, was to walk around about 80 kilometers and cover as many tours as we could, you know, within that distance. We are probably going to fall short of that by maybe 10 kilometers. We're probably, to be fair, going to be doing about 70 kilometers in the 5 days. Basically, on Monday we did about 11, well, it was nearly 12 kilometers on Monday. So we'll see how many kilometers we do doodling back, you know, tomorrow. So on Monday we did about 12 kilometers. Tuesday was a really long, big day. We did 30 kilometers on Tuesday. You know, going wee. Basically we went wee. So 30 kilometers on Tuesday was a pretty big day. Yesterday we did about 15 kilometers, so that is 10, 25, 55 kilometers. So 30, 40, 55. So that's, you know, so we've done at least 55 kilometers. It's probably, given we did, you know, 12 on, you know, Monday, I'm just doing round figures, but given we did 12 on Monday, not 10, you know, it's probably nearer 57. And then it's about 15, but we'll see exactly how far tomorrow when we go back to the car tomorrow. So it's about 15, so 15 to 55 is about 70. So I guess we'll have done around about 70. The reason why it's kind of worked out like that is, to be honest and fair, I think that 30 kilometer day was pretty knackering, and I was pretty tired yesterday, and I really wanted, you know, kind of a bit of a rest, to be fair. There's a couple of things. My plan was to have walked more today somewhere or other, but I saw the forecast and it was this miserable weather, And quite frankly, it's like this all day. The forecast is this just all day. And I've got 2 small blisters on the toe, poor little Tony toes. And to be fair, I just didn't really fancy walking in this miserable weather if I don't have to. I've got all the food, you know, I've got every single thing that I need to say, sod it, I'm just gonna sit out today. So we're not doing anything today. We're staying in camp, we're not moving. That's it, we're on strike today. So we've got everything we need. Like I said, it's not a competition. We're not here to kill ourselves, to, you know, to prove anything. I haven't got to prove myself to anyone, and I have no intentions to ever doing so. If today had been nicer, probably I might have exerted myself, and there are some tools just down from here, you know, that I might have walked, and it might have been about 10 kilometers, maybe even less, just to go around some of them, and potentially could have even just come back here. You know, in theory could have left the tent here, but this is on a bridle way through here, so I'm not sure I would have been too keen on leaving it here. You know, so in theory I could have done a small little loop, because you've got Great Mist Tor behind us, a little way behind, and there's a little pocket of tors in that vicinity. But frankly, I just, you know, what are we going to see in this? My other plan was, so I'm sorry if I'm recapping a bit for the old people who've been here like 20 million years, but you know, occasionally someone might come along, you know, someone who's woken up from the dead and never seen a Hobbs video before. So this is like, you know, just we'll recap. And my other thought process of today was to sort of go maybe over to the Sharp Tor area and camp down there, and then have a short walk to the car tomorrow. And I was half tempted to do that, but given it's August, the traffic will probably be rubbish on the motorways. Last time I got back to the car, middle of the week. To be fair, it was a Friday. Well, actually, no, it would still be a Friday anyway. Yeah, because that was a Friday, and tomorrow will be a Friday. So yeah, still a Friday. I got back to the car at 12 o'clock, thinking I'll get back in a couple of hours and have, you know, a few hours with my mum and dad and the Lassie and Lizzie. You know, I had Lizzie with me on that one, but with Lassie, and I didn't get home until 6 o'clock. And it was literally a 6-hour drive to get home, and I just went straight home because I thought, well, I was so tired after that, I just thought I need to get home. And so basically, you know, in another nutshell, we've got a lot of nutshells today, we haven't even started yet, but basically also in another nutshell, I was thinking, well, yes, we could do that walk today and have a shorter trip tomorrow, but again, you know, it's not really, you know, sometimes you have to walk in the rain, and, you know, and that's it. But if we can avoid it, you know, and we don't have to, then why deliberately walk in the rain when you literally just don't have to? So my plan, as I say, is to stay here, and then from here tomorrow, obviously we'll do exactly the same walk to Sharp Tor. It's literally only another hour. Obviously there I would have camped, but it's only another hour to the car. So I think we'll be able to easily do that tomorrow. And it is supposed to be good weather. Clearly, if it's like this tomorrow, well, we're screwed anyway. But it's supposed to be nice weather tomorrow. So just kind of thinking, really, if we're going to do this walk with, you know, and I want to show you some of Dartmoor in this series of videos. So, you know, if you're not interested in a bloke sitting in a tent or an open tarp, you know, in bad weather. Oh, this is a single skin shelter. Of course, with everybody keeps telling everybody who knows jack shit about camping that you can't use a single skin tarp or shelter in British English wet weather. Well, they're talking BS. I've got plenty of videos over the last 12 plus years proving the contrary to that that stupid idea. Anyway, yeah, so that's the plan really. We're just going to stay here, do nothing, just relaxing camp, waffle away occasionally. I shall watch some films, and then we'll have a view of something, you know, tomorrow on the way back to the car. So we'll have a little bit of a tidy up because we've got a bit of rubbish that will take 30 seconds to tidy up. We will have breakfast, so at some point I will show you my cooking pot, which you've probably seen before anyway, but we'll... oh, so basically for breakfast I have 2 Quaker's oats. I put about 450 ml of water in, boil it, add that. I did wake up about 7:30, quarter past 7:30, and I put my head down again. I put earbuds in because, you know, rain is a little bit noisy. And then I heard people cry babying, running to mummy. Oh, mummy, 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 mummy. Human fibre DCF is so noisy in the rain. I've got to run to mummy and complain about it. Yeah, I mean, it is, but I don't know. Realistically, I don't know whether it's very much noisier than a normal shelter. I just hear so much crying. The sarcasm drips from me. I'm just being cheeky, really. But I hear so much, you know, so much of, you know, people saying that Cuban fibre DCF is noisy in the rain. It is. I mean, I'm not saying that it's quiet, and I'm not saying that it is quieter than, you know, nylon or poly. It probably isn't. It probably is marginally louder, but I really don't think it's, I don't think it's a massive amount. I did put ear things in, but I would have put ear things in if I'd have been in the Hillyberg as well, because it just helps just silence everything a little bit. And I fell asleep again, and the next thing I knew, it was 9:15. So tomorrow, I really don't want to be too late to get going. So, you know, I will I will try to be a little bit earlier, you know, tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, so breakfast, we're going to have 2 of those. We're going to put water on first. Well, we need to put water on anyway, but we're going to put water on so that we can make tea, because I haven't had a tea for about 3 hours. I had one about 7 o'clock. To be fair, I had, I think, quite a decent night's sleep, because I think I put my head down about 11, and then I think I woke up at maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 maybe, and I had a cup of tea. I watched a few minutes of a film, put my head down. I deliberately, I thought, well, I'm not going to stay watching a film at 3 o'clock in the morning for long, but I just watched a few minutes. I think Zulu Dawn. I haven't seen that in years, actually. I think Bob Hoskins is probably going to get bumped off in that. I'm guessing Burt Lancaster will probably get bumped off in that one too, because I'm guessing he'll be one of the people out in the field in charge. Anyway, so I watched a bit more of that. Oh yeah, I watched a bit more of that. And then I put my head down again, and the next thing I knew, it was 7:30. And then I was thinking at 7:30, well, okay, well it's nearly 8, so maybe I'll stay awake. And then I thought, well, it's not 8 o'clock, and I don't need to be awake at 8 o'clock. So maybe let's get some more sleep and rest, because I think rest and sleep is as important as walking and exercise. So I put my head down, and then like I said, the next thing I knew, it was 9:15, and I thought, okay, well maybe now we better start, you know, coming to slowly. I can, if you do ever use 2 phones as I do, I don't know where I've put it now, but somewhere there, sometimes in camp, if you hold your phone up high, you might get a signal. So what I've got here is a little rig. So I turn my Samsung phone into a mobile hotspot, strap it into there, you know, and it holds in there, and then I just put that over my pole outside, just over the top of the pole, and then there's just enough signal up high for one phone to get a signal to beam down to the second phone, but obviously that uses power as well. So I might do that later on, and I might try and phone home later as well. But generally down here there isn't a signal, you know, down here. So realistically we'll only be using the iPhone anyway, and that's got a pretty decent, you know, battery life in it. And then I just top up the GoPro, so we should be okay for battery power. But yes, it's really not nice out at all. Really quite miserable. But you know, the advantage of a nice big open shelter like this, you know, I've got oodles of space, a little bit lacking headroom a little bit, you know, but you know, generally speaking, you know, a lot of space. So in the time I've been waffling away there, my water is coming up to boil. So basically that water there will do this. There'll be a dribble left in there which I'll top up. I will have to get out obviously later to go and get water just over there. So if we do get a moment at some point where the rain eases, then obviously, you know, I'll go and get water. I probably dropped too much water in there, but like I said, well, I'll show you my cook pot and other things as the day progresses. Anyway, that's our morning waffle done, and that's 22 minutes, maybe a bit less when that's being edited. I down a tiny bit, but that's 20 minutes of non-stop waffle. I'll catch up in a minute. Well, good evening. It's coming up to 6 o'clock. I don't really know where the day's gone, to be honest, but the weather hasn't improved at all. It's really quite miserable. I don't know if you can see the river, but that is really flowing quite quickly now. It's changed a lot since it's basically been raining for, I don't know, 12 hours and it hasn't stopped. I mean, it's not heavy rain, but it is a continual rain, and I think it's going to keep raining until, I don't know, about 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I don't think we're going to get much respite at all. And the only good thing is, thankfully, we're this side of the river, and we should be able to just walk up 1 kilometre on this side of the river and then pick up the bridleway to the left, and then, you know, slowly take us back to the car tomorrow. So I think, given it's coming up to 6 o'clock, we ought to start thinking about food. So I think for this evening what I'm going to have is this homemade concoction. Now this, I think, I've forgotten what's in here, but I think it's rice, chicken and masala. You know, sort of a concoction that I made at home. And then I think the bit on the top, I think, is carrots and neeps. I've kind of forgotten what I made and put in here because I never write anything down. I'm not the most organized of people, but that's kind of what it looks like. So I'm going to put water on to boil, and then we'll kind of chuck it in and have a look and, you know, see what we got. But I think that's what it is. Alright, well, I'm not going to stay out here long, but this is the weather out here, and that's the Trailstar. It's kind of pretty low to the ground, actually. I don't know, somehow it's got lower during the night. I don't know how. I don't know, it hasn't stretched, it's tight. But anyway, that's the Trailstar. You can see the river is up very high compared to yesterday. I don't know how we crossed. I think we stepped over here somehow, but you can see that that's there. I don't think we're in any danger here. I think it's safe enough. It would have to come way up here, so I think we're safe here, but it's certainly risen a lot more than I was expecting. That's what we've got. So we'll leave that. Yeah, that's definitely curry. So yeah, that's definitely chicken curry and rice. And I must have added neeps and carrot, I think, for, you know, a little of the vegetable, you know, for some healthy campy eating. Oh, I just whipped outside and grabbed a drop more water super fast, had a pee, and did a bit of filming out there, but, you know, for like 2 seconds. And oh my god, I've not even eaten yet. Don. No, wait a sec. And just in those few seconds, I started to get a little bit damp. Anyway, I'm gonna get back into the comfort of the sleeping bag, because it is thoroughly miserable out there. I mean, look at that weather. I mean, I don't think I think there's zero danger of that river reaching up here, but I have to say it's getting a little bit a little bit closer, but I don't think it's going to get this far. I think it'd have to rise a hell of a long way to get up here, but that has risen somewhat more than I was expecting or hoping. But I think we're high enough up here that it's not going to be a problem, says he. And that's not bad. That's hydrated quite well. And that's I think that's minced chicken. So if you try this, then you're better off getting minced chicken, not chicken pieces. So fry up the minced chicken, boil the rice. When the chicken's cooked, add in the masala liquid stuff. You know, a tin of that masala, or a jar. Add in the rice. Boil it, you know, fry it. So like most of the liquid of the sauce gets taken into the chicken and the rice. And then, to quote Matt Damon in The Martian, dehydrate the fuck out of it. So you can see a bit of carrot there. I think a meal like this would be good, you know, on a longer expedition or a longer walk or something. And it takes a lot of water to hydrate it. There was probably at least 400 millilitres in there. Alright, well, I'm gonna carry on eating and we'll catch up later. Well, it's quarter to nearly, well, it's 20 to 9, so the sun will set in about 15 minutes. Yeah, actually no, I think it sets in 10 minutes because it's 8:50. Sunset's 8:50 and it's nearly 8:40, so the sun will set in 10 minutes. There's probably about 20 minutes, half an hour after that of dusk, and then, you know, it will be dark. The nights are definitely really now starting to draw in, or out, or in, isn't it now? I never, all this inning and outing, I never know. But yeah, it's kind of like nights are coming in now, aren't they? So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really. You know, it would be nice if we had, well, it'd be nice if we had a summer. Yet what we're getting is, you know, is this. But it's been a nice, it's been a relaxing time in camp. I mean, like I said, it's nearly 9 o'clock, and you know, I woke up at what, 9:15 or something like that this morning. So the 12 hours, I have to say, has gone quite quickly. It is supposed to be a nice day tomorrow, so if you have watched this episode and you were expecting something more than mist and rain and someone lazing around in camp waffling doing nothing all day, then we will be walking tomorrow. So we'll look at a few sites, you know, as we make our way back, you know, to the car tomorrow. And if you kind of joined in this episode, then check out, you know, the previous ones as well. Anyway, unless anything, you know, happens, I think I'm going to sign off. So if you have got this far, as always, you've helped the channel the most. for watching to the end, because that helps the algorithms with YouTube. So thank you very much. Thank you to the subscribers, thank you to the members and Patreons, and thank you all very much, and I'll see you in the next episode tomorrow. See you again soon.